New York. Hey, New York in five. Hey, New York in five, man. I said New York in six. I knew New York was gonna win this thing. Uh, they only lost three playoff games. uh, this team only lost three playoff games. They lost two to the Atlanta Hawks, and then they swept. They won the rest of those games. Swept the Sixers. Swept the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they gentlemen swept the Spurs. They only lost three games. They won 16 games, only lost three. Hate to say it, but this is probably one of the not so good but best finals teams ever to come. Ugly game though. This was an ugly game. The Knicks always start off bad, and I'm gonna just go on to my notes. Ugly game, and same stuff that's been happening that I've been saying, and only wondering, why this stuff is still happening. Now, if we go back to the first quarter, Knicks start off slow. Knicks start off slow like they did in every single game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5. The Knicks always start off slow. And not only did he start off slow, Wemby's cat's in foul trouble. So Knicks always start off slow and cat's in foul trouble. Now you trying, okay, what's going on? So now Brunson's got to get going somehow. Brunson didn't even really get going. He scored his points, but he didn't get going and to where, okay, dang, we got to, switch some stuff up. The Knicks only made 3 field goals. And the first thing I wrote on my notes, win or go home game. Why is Wemby and Stephon Castle out at the same time? And this is where, I've been saying this about Mitch Johnson since the first time I made my videos in the OKC series. Mitch Johnson has this lineup thing where, okay, Wemby's going to play the first 6 minutes, and then he's going to come out. No matter how good he's doing, he's going to come out. That is the line. Whoever made those substitutions like that needs to be fired. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's, substitution guy that they have. They need to be fired. So like I said, first 6 minutes of the game, Wemby's coming out no matter how good he's doing. Then he's going to come out, but he's going to come back in, which is absurd to me, which is crazy, which I don't understand that shit. So then you're going to put him back in at like around, the 1 minute mark. And that's how they sub, that's how he's been subbing. But, I'm a coach as well. So I'm thinking if I'm Mitch, and we've been doing that for the past couple of games, and this is a win or go home game, how about let's switch it up? Okay, so like I said, Wemby and Castle out at the same time. He took him out at the 5:51 mark. The score was 8-11. The Spurs were up. And like I said, another slow start from the Knicks. Wemby comes back in. Okay, the Knicks did, and this is where you think, okay, yeah, the Spurs did good. Wemby comes back in at 140. Now the score is 10-18. And you looking at it as Mitch Johnson would probably look at it as, okay, I think, we got Wemby a 4-minute rest, and they only scored 2 points, and we scored 7. So you would think, oh, that's good. But from my standpoint, because I'm a coach as well, I will look at it as if the Knicks are having a slow start and Wemby's having a good first quarter, how about let's increase that? So instead of it being 2-7, if you keep Wemby in those 4 minutes, because it's a win or go home, this may be the last game of your season, and tonight it was, but going back to the first quarter, not being hindsight, this may be the last game of the season. So Wemby played the whole first. If he plays, so instead of it being 2-7, it might be 0 because he's a great defensive player. They scored 2 without him. So 0 may be like Could it be 14? So if you have to keep him in because he's already going, he's already in, he's already going, he's playing good, he's feeling good. Just keep him in the game, especially if the Knicks are starting off slow, because you want to get that. Especially how he's been coaching, every lead they had, they have lost it. So if he can get this lead more and more and more, just increase the lead. You just got to increase it. That's how you have to do it, because he is not a good coach where he can just, oh, when we come out, when we go in, when we come out. Because now the Knicks only made 3 field goals, and you didn't take advantage of it just by having a 10-point lead. It was 13-23. That's not good enough when they only made 3 field goals. That's not good enough. So I don't see why you took him out, because this is a winner go home game. You leave your guy out there. Hey, we need y'all tonight. If you gotta play. How many minutes Wemby played tonight? Let me see. You gotta let your guys go out and give it their all, because what he didn't work. And I'm surprised, like, he never switched it up. He kept doing the same thing. And it's not working. And I don't know why he didn't switch it up. And it's kind of crazy, because it's like he died on the hill with his stuff. And like Wemby only played 38 minutes tonight. He left 10 minutes out there on the floor. I guess this wasn't a win or go home game. Castle only 32. Like, I don't know what Miss Johnson was. I don't know what Miss Johnson was trying. I don't think they wanted to win. They didn't want to win. That's what it looked like. Nobody wanted to win but Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper looked like the best player on the Spurs tonight. Dylan Harper looked like the best player on the Spurs tonight. And same thing, I wrote in my notes as well. Why Dylan Harper out after 6 minutes? He had 7 points. He 3 for 3. Dumb substitution. Keep him in there. The same thing happened in the first game where Dylan Harper was hot and you took him out to put De'Aaron Fox in. When he was hot, he could have won you the ball game. That's why you can't keep doing, and he's doing the same mistakes. He's not learning. He keeps doing the same stuff. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's no way he's watching film and him and his other coaches are agreeing with him. And I don't know where Poppy is in all this. I know he's probably he gave them speeches for sure, but you have to get a more experienced coach from here on out, because Wemby's progressing too fast to try to learn with Mitch. You either got to know what you're doing, or he has to go. And he obviously doesn't know what he's doing right now. You have Jason Kidd, who just got fired, and you have Tom Thibodeau. You go out and get one of those guys, and you don't have to fire Mitch, because your coach, Sean, I think that's his name, he just went over there to Orlando. So you can just demote Mitch down to the assistant coach and hire one of those guys, because you need a good head coach, because this is what you're going to get. And I already said the Knicks were going to win, because I think the Spurs had an easy trip to the finals. And yes, it was easy. Yes, it was lucky. You have to get lucky. Ant was hurt, so, easy series. In the second game, J-Dub was hurt and A.J. Mitchell was hurt. And that game still went 7. So you can only say, oh, if OKC was healthy, they would have won. And I'm not saying, oh, the Spurs didn't deserve or didn't earn it. They still earned it. And you have to get lucky to win stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they got here a little too quick, but this is what happened. But Mitch Johnson has been bad in the OK series all 7 games, and he was bad in this series all 5 games. Like you have to go out and get a more experienced coach, a coach who knows what he's doing, a coach who won't make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. You have to switch it up. You can't keep doing the same stuff. And the Knicks had a slow start, and the Spurs didn't take advantage of it. And then in the second quarter, Brunson didn't start. And the second quarter they went I think 5, maybe 4 minutes. The Knicks only scored 2 points without Brunson. 2. 1, 2, the Knicks. They only scored 2 points without Brunson. So Brunson got a 4-minute rest. And the Knicks only scored 2. And they still scored more points than you in the second quarter. The Knicks scored 24 points. Then the Spurs scored 19 points. How? That is what I'm talking about. He has to be better. And he took Dylan Harper out to put De'Aaron Fox in. De'Aaron Fox has not been having a good series. This is the win or go home game. You can't keep messing around with De'Aaron Fox. You just can't. He's not getting on the glass, helping you that way. He's not playmaking in a sense, because while Wemby don't have more points than he has, so he's not really doing a good job of that. Okay, you probably not. Okay, you making it to where Stephon Castle don't have 9 turnovers. Okay, but if he gonna have 7 points, go 3 for 15, 1 for 8 from 3, I might as well let Stephon Castle handle the ball and let him do what he want to do, because that ain't gonna get me shit. That ain't gonna do me nothing. That ain't gonna help me nothing. No, you can't do that. If you're gonna be in, you got to do better than that. They just pay him $200 million. He's gonna be making $60 million in a year. You can't go out and do this shit. That is unacceptable. So, like I said, Wemby came out in the second quarter. The score was 15-31, 8 minutes and 19 seconds left. My thing, why is Wemby bro, you have, and that's a 16-point lead. So you have to increase that. That is good enough. Okay, you want to bring Wemby out. You bring Wemby out. Soon as Wemby come out, you put Wemby back in. Now the score is 21-33. So now that the 7 that you had while Wemby was out, okay, now you're winning it. Now we go back. Now Wemby's in. Now the score is 21-33. They score 6 points. You score 2. So now that 2-7 is 8-9. So you're not really accounting nothing out of the Wemby being, he's resting. And like I said, he got put out at 8:19. He got back in at 5:46. My thing is with the rest is, if he's going to get rest, he needs to be out for a longer time. And if you're going to put him out at 8, you got to let him rest way more than 5, because you're thinking, okay, if they're going to come back, they're going to come back because you took him out anyway. So now just let him rest, so whenever he go back in, he's full energized. You know what I'm saying? And that's why his substitution is kind of bad, because the first quarter, he's playing him until 6. He's taking him out at 6. He's putting him back in at 1. He's playing it. And now he's starting the second quarter, but he getting out at 8. Then he taking a break and getting back in at 5. And then he didn't even finish the second quarter. That's in my notes too. But then let me tell you this. The Knicks were on a 17-7 run. Guess where Dylan Harper was? On the bench. Why? At this point in the game, Dylan Harper was the only one scoring. Wemby wasn't scoring like that. Fox wasn't. Castle wasn't. Champagnie maybe made a couple threes. Vassell maybe did something. The only person who was scoring in the second quarter was Dylan Harper. And where was he? On the bench while they on this big old run, 17-7 run. Dylan Harper was on the bench. bro. That's a like I was, this may be the last at this point of the game. This may be the last game of your season, and you have the best player who played the best in this game right here. You had him on the bench when you needed him because nobody could score, obviously. So he has to get better with his substitution. Castle, he really didn't give you nothing tonight. Didn't play good defense. He didn't score no points. He played bad. He played bad. And going like this may be your last game of the season. It's like them boys didn't want it. They didn't play like they wanted it. Wemby didn't. Nobody did except Harper, really. He looked like the vet out there, and he really wouldn't. And then Harper got put back in the 117 mark in the second quarter to end the quarter. But if that's like, if I'm, just say I'm 5 for 5, then my coach take me out, and then he put me back in, and I go 5 for 10, he can't get mad that I missed 5 shots. You know why? Because you never should have took me out in the first place. So that was a bad sub. He just have to get better at subbing. And I know I keep saying the same thing, but that is the problem. His substitutions are the problem. His coaching is the problem. And yes, it's De'Aaron Fox's fault too. It is. But guess what? De'Aaron Fox don't have to be in the game. You making that sub. You're putting De'Aaron Fox in the game. So most of that is on you. You're the coach. You decide who will be in the game. You do all that. So you're going to take that blame. De'Aaron Fox, he's going to take most of it because he has to be better. He can't miss 12 shots. He can't. He can't miss 12 shots. He can't miss 7 threes. And most of his threes are wide open. He can't miss 7 threes. And all right, going into halftime, you're up. But you're not up big. All right, so you're up. Like I said, this may be the last game of the season. I wrote down right here, Dylan Harper has to start the third quarter. And I thought, I'm just a kid, a man who just trying to, make his YouTube. I'm trying to, go somewhere. I'm a coach myself. I coach a high school team. And I'm listening to the halftime and the Charles Barkley, another all-time great. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. Dylan Harper has to start. He has to. And he doesn't start. And okay, he don't start. Okay. All right. Then guess what? Cat doesn't start the third. Cat doesn't start. So it's like the other coaches are coaching you. His players are playing better. They're getting in positions to where they want to win. They're fighting harder. What are you telling your guys? Are you not motivating them? Are you not pushing them? Like, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know what he's telling them, but he can't be telling them nothing good because they're not. They didn't bring energy tonight. And Wemby, he told the press, yeah, everybody know we're gonna win. 19 points, 14 rebounds, 7 for 19, 1 for 6 from 3. Well, we don't know shit. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing at all. You had 5 blocks in the first half, didn't get 1 block for the rest of the game. We don't know nothing. So, they got to be better. And like I said, with his substitution in the third quarter, he took Wemby out at the 7:48 mark. Guess what? Guess when Wemby got back in? The 6:20. So you took him out for 1 minute and 28 seconds. You should have just left him in. Why am I taking somebody out if they getting 1 minute and 28 second rest? That's nothing. I'm leaving you in the game. You gotta fight. You gotta build more stamina. And this comes back from in the regular season where you thinking, oh, Wemby didn't even average 30 minutes per game in the regular season. Now you wonder, dang, why Wemby look so winded in the playoffs? Because he's playing fucking 40 minutes. He's not used to that. He's not used to that. You can't go from playing somebody under 30 minutes in the regular season for like 64 games. They're not used to playing it's 48 minutes in a game. He ain't even playing 30. So that's 18 minutes that's unaccounted for that he's not playing. So then in the playoffs, now that 29 gotta go to damn near 40. But that's fucking 11 to the 10 minutes that he has to find somewhere in his stamina, which he doesn't have because he's not used to playing all those minutes. So, but now he has to find a way to play him, and it's hard because when you're tired, you're not rebounding like you should. You're shying away on the ball on offense. You're not going to trying to get it because you're so tired and you don't want to mess up. So now you're thinking about all those things. That's why the stars, they play minutes in the regular season, because in the playoffs you're gonna need that stamina. You're gonna need it. So you gotta play at least 36 minutes, and you can't be worrying about the injury so much. You just gotta play him. If he get hurt, he get hurt. All right. And that's how it's got to be. It's basketball. You're going to have some luck with it. You're going to have some bad luck. You're going to have some good luck. And you need both. But he just wasn't. Wemby looked tired. He did. You know what I'm saying? Like, giving him a 1 minute and 28-second rest, it ain't going to do nothing. It ain't do it. The Knicks won those minutes 4-2. You may think, dang, it ain't big, but on the outcome, the Knicks came out with the better. When Wemby was out the game, the Knicks won, and that's the game. They won by 4. So whenever Wemby out the game, they increasing that lead, and that matters because when Wemby in the game, they ain't doing it as much. You know what I'm saying? And like. Another thing, when that second quarter was ended, the Knicks was on an 8-0 run. Wemby and Castle out the game. Why? My head coach texts me, hey, why Wemby wasn't in the end of quarter? Nobody knows but Mitch. Nobody knows but Mitch Johnson. And I think Wemby had like 3 fouls. Nobody knows why he was out the game. Nobody knows but Mitch. All right. And then De'Aaron Fox took a lot of bad shots. Now you get into the fourth quarter. They're down to Wemby. They at the free throw line. Josh Hart misses both of them. And Wemby lets Mitchell Robinson get the rebound. And, I'm thinking like, dang, like my partner told me, he was in the room, we were watching the game together. He was like, Wemby got to do something. He got 3 points and 2 rebounds in the whole fourth. He played 11 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds. He said he got to be able to rebound, right? I said, yeah, he has to. He misses the rebound. But you know why? Because he's boxing out like this instead of like this. He's boxing him out with his arms looking at it instead of putting his butt on him and grabbing it. And a lot of players in the NBA do that in this generation. I don't know why, but Wemby gives up the rebound and they go to shoot more free throws because they got a foul. Like he can't give that rebound up. You're 7'5". You can't give that rebound up. Okay, even after that, they play the fouling game. The Knicks missing. Mitch Robinson calls a timeout. He has the ball. I wrote in my notes. If De'Aaron Fox is in the game after this timeout, they lost. When they come back in, De'Aaron Fox in the damn game. Why is he in the game? First off, you're down 3. Second off, you got 3 guards on the floor who can't shoot. Harper can't shoot. Castle can't shoot. Fox can't shoot. You're down 3. Why are they in? And in this instance, you had Julian Champagnie come out the third quarter. He made 2 big threes. Boom, boom. That's 6 points. Okay, then in the fourth quarter, he barely plays. Why? He needs to play because he can shoot. All right. So then you got to look at it. Who's more beneficial to the team? In this instant, when you're down 3 and you need 3 points, Castle, okay, you can facilitate the offense. If they miss it, okay, you got defense. You can probably get a steal. Harper, you look like the best player on the floor. You got to stick. Wemby, you're great on defense. You got to stick. Vassell, you're another good 3-point shooter, so you got to stay. So the odd man out is De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox should have been out that game for Julian Champagnie because Julian Champagnie was 4 for 8 from 3 tonight. And then that play that they had, he didn't even... they ain't even try to draw nothing up because the Knicks fouled him. But you can't expect. You gotta already know. Hey, they may foul here. We gotta think of something quick. Julian Champagnie catching the corner, just go up. Just go up, and then you die off the free throws. But Mitch Johnson just didn't have a good plan tonight. Same plan that he always had, and unfortunately, that's why they lost. And hey, Brunson, he's the best New York Knick ever. Best New York Knick ever. They had 94 points. Brunson had 45 of the 49. Brunson almost had more points than everybody else on his team tonight. That's legendary shit. That's legendary. That's legendary. Brunson, the best New York Knicks ever. The first championship in 53 years. That's legendary. Brunson did his thing tonight, man. He did his thing tonight. Cat only had 2 points. Didn't matter. And for everybody who was saying, "Oh, OG Anunoby need to be Finals MVP." OG Anunoby, 11 points, 3 for 11, 1 for 5, 5 fouls. Who? Man, please get that Final MVP to Brunson. What is they talking about? Man, 45 points. Talking about some OG Anunoby for Finals MVP. I don't give, man. Brunson take those shots. OG Anunoby doing what he supposed to do. Catch and shoot, catch and drive. And that's what he been doing. He been doing it hella good. And that's what they needed. When he came in clutch, he did he made big shots. He got the tip. He doing what he need to do. But that Finals MVP, they go to the best player on the floor, on the winning team. And that was Brunson. In every game. 1, he that. 2, he that. 3, he that. 4, he that. 5, he that. He averaged 33, 5, and 4. He's 6'1". Maybe ain't even that. The stuff that he's doing, the shit that he's doing, he's dominating, bro. And the time, he has the ball all game. He has 3 turnovers. He's doing his job, man. He's doing his thing. And nobody stopped him. Mitch not drawing nothing up. And he doing his thing. Brunson for Finals MVP, and he got it. He got it, man. Hey, I'm gonna miss basketball. Football's coming up. Baseball is here. But hey, man, this Knicks first championship in 53 years, man. Game 5. Hey, it was a good one. But hey, I'll see you guys later in the football season. All right, catch y'all.